Angles and parallel lines. They build our houses, they create our parking spaces. The world wouldn't be the same without angles and parallel lines.
Hi, I'm Isabel Chaco.
Hi, I'm Kelsey DePenta. Today we're here to talk to you about
Angles and parallel lines. There are 4 theorems one can learn in this lesson. The first is alternate interior angles. This means that 2 interior angles, which are non-adjacent, are on opposite sides of the transversal and are congruent. If you look at them on the diagram, they make a Z. The second one is alternate exterior angles. These are 2 exterior angles which are non-adjacent and are on opposite sides of the transversal. They are also congruent and they do not make a specific shape. The third one is consecutive interior angles. These are 2 interior angles on the same side of the transversal and are supplementary. When you look at them on a diagram, they make a C. The last one is the perpendicular transversal theorem. This states, in a plane, if a line is perpendicular to one of the parallel lines, then it is perpendicular to the other parallel line.
There is only one postulate in this section of geometry. The postulate is about corresponding angles. It states that one interior angle and one exterior angle that are non-adjacent and on the same side of the transversal are congruent. When you look at these angles on a diagram, they make an F. Now we're going to go over some algebra problems you might encounter in this section. You're given a set of parallel lines and a transversal, and these measurements. Based on what we know, we can decide if they form a C, an F, a Z, or if they're just alternate exterior angles. We can tell that in this situation, they make a C. This means that they are consecutive interior angles. We know that consecutive interior angles are supplementary. So, to solve this problem, we would do 2x plus 5 plus 75 equals 180. When we solve this equation, we get x equals 50. In this next problem, we're given these angle measurements: 2x plus 5 and 4x plus 3. Based on the picture, we can tell that they are alternate exterior angles. This means that they are congruent. So to solve this problem, we set them equal to each other. 2x plus 5 equals 4x plus 3. When we solve this equation, we get x equals 1. In this next problem, we get these angle measurements: 12 and 3x. Looking at this diagram, we can see that the 12 and 3x make a Z. This means that they are alternate interior angles. Based on the theorem we just learned, we know that alternate interior angles are congruent. This means to solve this problem, we set 12 and 3x equal to each other. When we do this, we get x equals 4. Now for our final algebra problem. We are given 3y plus 2 and 50. Looking at this diagram, we can see that it makes an F. This means that they are corresponding angles. Based on the postulate we just learned, we know that corresponding angles are congruent. So to solve this problem, we simply set them equal to each other. 3y plus 2 equals 50. When we do this, we get y equals 6.
Welcome to Isabel's Auto Shop. Here, we came to investigate a parking problem. Car A thinks that car B is getting more parking space than he is. See, looking at this diagram, we can tell that car A is here and car B is here. And if we look at the big picture, we can tell that these are corresponding angles.
We know that corresponding angles make an F, and we also know that corresponding angles are congruent. Based on this information, car A and car B are both receiving the same amount of parking space because the angles are congruent.
Let's say angle A was 70 degrees. Because of corresponding angles, that would also mean angle B is 70 degrees. This also proves why both cars get the same amount of parking space. So let's recap what we learned today. We learned about angles and parallel lines, and the theorems, postulates, and algebra problems that come with them. We even learned a real-world example.
Just remember, alternate interior angles are congruent, alternate exterior angles are congruent, corresponding angles are congruent, and consecutive angles are supplementary.